and a good day to you all. I trust we are doing well by the grace of God. And then I should say a happy Easter to all of us. The holidays are going on well. If not, I think so far it should be good. So I came your way this evening to actually get us some few instructions or guide to be able to complete the tasks that await us or that we are working on still. So I'm going to actually record just some few series of videos about 5 minutes each, maybe lengthy, about just 7 to 10 minutes. Right, not going to take much of your time, and I think watching might do us a lot of good to understand some of the concept, how things are being done. It's really that simple. But first thing first, in this video I'm going to take us through how we are doing our entries and then the remarks. So please stay with me. But before I start, I would like to show us something. So this is a OIC report card. Yes, so this is how the OIC report card actually looks like. This is the original report card. That is the official. So it looks like this. Sometimes it feels like it is a lot of work. Yes, sometimes it's just cumbersome and then it's overwhelming, but it just has to be done. So looking at this, we have student name, date of birth, class, grade, class name, term, academic year, class teacher, report date, and then it goes on and on and on. Yes, this way it goes on and on and on like this. And this one shows the subject. These are the OIC subject. So in the OIC, they actually have something they've done this way. We have subject that are gradable. Yes, that are gradable. Right, you just put in scores like this. So you can put in here 45 and then it shows up in here. So those subjects are the 4, that is the English, that is math, science, computing, that is from them. And they have other subjects. So I'll say those are the 4 core subjects from the Oxford International Curriculum. And then we have other 3, that is the well-being, sustainability, and then the global skills. These become something like an elective, but these becomes observational subject, which means it is not going to be based on grading student performance on an exams, but by observing, interacting with students, giving them project and how they are applying the concept and then the proof of work in the class to their surroundings. Are they thinking critically? Are they really, finding something new, bringing something novel? That is how it has been categorized. So you can see the English, math, and funny thing is that as a teacher, anytime you give the score, that is developing, secure, extending, which shows this as a very brilliant student, an average, and this is maybe a good student, maybe trying his or her possible best. You give the scores in here, then it shows up. You are supposed to write a teacher's comment for each of the subject. So assuming the report card is to be brought to each teacher, okay, assuming there is nothing like a system, it means that each student's report card is to go to each of the subject teachers for them to write their comment on the report card. So the question is, how were the Oxford International Curriculum or the structure, okay, thinking schools were going to do this? And I think if we should go manually, that is how it is going to be, because as a subject teacher, you have to, because it says subject teachers comment, so you have to be doing this, meaning if you have about 30 students, you have to be writing 30 different subject teachers comment, and that is going to be hectic, isn't it? Right. So there's a reason why I just wanted us to look at this. So if I should move to mathematics, so the same thing, mathematics going to do the same thing. And then these are the integrated local curriculum subject. So I would say these are just borrowed from the GS. Because we are in Ghana, we can't avoid these. Either you do Twi or Ga or Ewe or any of the languages, but since you're in Accra, Ga is is compulsory. Yes, I should say. Yes. So you do the same thing. History, the same thing. And creative art, the same thing. And then French, also the same thing. So now it comes down to the joy of learning. Right, the three other subject which forms part of the OIC, that is the well-being, sustainability, and global skills. So it even says this is progress, right? That is a progress. So the learning outcomes, and then the facilitators comment, right? So the learning outcomes, it's also going to be either extending, secure, or developing, right? That is the outcome. That is, let's say, a grade, a range that you are trying to give to the student, but with the comment the facilitator has to write. So it means that it being combined, they are going to be 12 subjects, and this would have been a little bit catastrophic because teachers would have still needed to be on campus working on each of the report card that week, right? Or maybe there should be a way that teachers or a way that teachers would work on this, maybe collaboratively, or maybe put it up and then send to the class teacher for the teacher to do that. That is going to be also work overload on the form teacher. Okay, so they are also going to put in their facilitators comment here, and then the same thing, the outcome, and then the comment. So let's move down. After this side, it comes also the class teacher's reflection or their remarks. Yes, and then the OIC coordinator or the principal's reflection. So the principal or the head teacher or the headmaster, and then they put in their signature, class teacher, coordinator, and then the principal. Okay, so this is a complete overview of the OIC report card. So I'm going to just take off here, and we'll start with my main agenda. So this was just an overview for us to understand why the work feels a little bit cumbersome, why we are sometimes bored with a lot of work. Yes, I understand it is a lot of work. It is not easy, but we are just trying to also find ways to make the work so easy, to avoid all of these back and forth complications and then tiring tasks. So let me just log in. I've logged in. Yes, I've logged in here. So in this tutorials or videos I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be taking us through series of things that is in the A+ axiom, yes, which are going to be in the benefit of teachers especially, right? So because we are in the season, or we are in the stretch or the sprint of entering students' result, doing their remarks, keying in submission of result and approval, and then publishing of result, the first set of videos I'm going to do is going to cover that. Okay, so as a teacher, we all know that during our midterms we used the assessment and result. Why assessment and result? Because that is going to take care of everything that concerns student based on assessment and examination. Anything that concerns student based on examination, observation, anything grading, it is going to come from the assessment and then the result. So if I should click this, I have sub menus from the category. So I have academic hub, examination hub, exam prep center, academic result, question bank. So with time, I might take us through each one of these sub menus to really understand how sophisticated it is, how teachers are going to really maneuver their way around this to help them in their analysis, to help them with with making things efficient and effective. Okay, and then to see how peaceful a teacher is going to go, to even give the teacher the oversight over the whole class, students that are lacking, why, and then the what. It comes down in this way, that what are the what, the whys, and then the how, right? So with that, we'll come to that, but in this video, let's just give our focus to what we are doing here. So that is that. So in this video, we will come to the academic result, as I mentioned. So if I should come here, I click on academic results. So academic result, I have a lot of cards. Never mind if you see more than what you have on your portal, because this is an account that has a lot of privilege or has a lot of function that has been opened to. So this A+oic system has what we call role-based access control. So we have the teachers, we have the parents, we have the student, we have the head teacher, we have the admin, we have the secretary, we have the accountant, we have a lot of roles, right? So this is an admin. So you realize if you're a teacher, you won't be seeing this. So let me just open a teacher's face for you to see this. We won't be seeing that. So if I should go to the same place as a teacher, I see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That is 7. But with an admin, I see 8. Okay, so we enter the result, and then we enter result as well in here. So since we have this, you know, with a midterm, you just have to just key in your figure just like that, and then you save it. And remember, I'm in a local environment, so whatever I'm going to do in this video is not going to affect anything on the main server at all. This is only on my computer. It is not going out, and nothing is going to happen to anything. So yes, we are in a saved, controlled environment. Yeah, so you key in here, you key in the result, maybe 78, and then it works. So there is one thing I wanted you to also see. We just implemented. So let me key in maybe 66 in here. Yes. Oh, okay, let me do it again. 67. I will show you something. You look at this, you pay attention to this one. You realize initially teachers have to come to click on the save, but for now we've implemented what we call the autosave. So it just does autosave. Even if you run out of network, maybe system goes off, it has already saved. So the days of oh, I lost all of the entries, I have to start again. We've taken it off. So you look at this, I key in again, and then you look at that on top. Yes, it says saving. I caught it. It says saving automatically. So I won't, though you can still click on this, but it is not important. So let me just delete all of this. I'll leave them. So after we are done with everything, right? But here, you select your subject, and then the class, and then the assessment type, right? So after you are done with everything in here, and you will see. So let me have a look with the teacher's account here, right? So yes, so you will see this. So after, assuming I pick maybe, okay, not group work, midterm. So after you are done with everything, you are going to see submit, right? Submit result. That is going to go straight to the headmistress or the head teacher for him or her to approve or to review, to see whether everything is done and then everything is intact. So that is how everything is going to be done as a teacher. Okay, so with that, I don't want to go and then record that video separately, so I'm going to add up to this. The teachers doing the joy of learning, okay, handling the joy of learning, like this one. So let me get to, okay, let me use this joy of learning. Let me take a class, maybe grade 4A, and let me just pick well-being. This way you realize that when the subject comes, it shows only these, okay. We don't see like the scores like this, because these subjects are based on observation, okay, for growth and then progress. We've taken out the scores, even though it's here, but it is optional. It is not going to be added to the report card or to the totaling of students or scores, right? So when you come here, you're going to see all of the students. So assuming you pick one, you just click on the drop down and then you select, or maybe extending says consistently exceeds expectations, and then meet what expectations for, making progress toward expectation. And then so when you read, you get it. So assuming the student, I pick developing, and once I pick developing, whatever is in the template, okay, is going to show developing. That is 10 remarks. So assuming I pick this, it says there is a real potential Aaron in this subject, and this one says she, right? So maybe the gender hasn't been changed for this class, or maybe so you just have to just read through, right? And then you pick, or you make just some few corrections. So you just read through and then you check. So if that is fine, and then you click on save like that, and then you can see that it says what comment, right? It shows green. So all of those that you do shows green. But I realized that some teachers has done this already before we made a particular fix. Initially they were not showing on the report card, so we had to just go back and then find the bug. So we debugged and then we fixed. So if you did that, or you worked on well-being, sustainability and global skills before today, please look at this particular thing I'm about to show you. It's very important. You see the button beside the save, or this particular one, sync result. You just have to just click on that, right? So if you click on it, it is going to synchronize the ones that you've done earlier. So you don't have to do anything again. You just click on this and then it will tell you maybe 2 out of 2 or 20 out of 20 or 31 out of 31, and then that is all. Please do that for us, okay? Because I realized that the class teachers were like, it wasn't showing at their end just because it was done earlier and it wasn't really mapped to its field on the report card. Okay, so they were not seeing it at their dialogues. So please, you take care of this button here. You just click it once and then you are good to go. So this brings us to the end, or this brings us to the final part of this video. I'm going to end here, and I'm sure at least this video will help with the entries and then with the remarks. Wait. There is something last I want to show to you. You realize on the report card, I was showing you each teacher were to make their, what's the name? Their remarks. So the system actually has handled that already. So as you can see, based on the scores that the student is getting, right? It is giving a particular grade and then remarks. But you should click on this I that you see here, this one that you are seeing here. If I should click on it, you see it shows the continuous assessment score and then the exams for the student. So we are going to see all of the assessment, that is assessment leisure. And then if I scroll down here, it says that qualitative assessment. Okay, this is what the system picked. It will demonstrate an excellent understanding of the subject and consistently exceeds the expected learning outcomes. But if you think you don't like this, right, you can also type yours, right? You type yours and then it shows, right? if you think you want to do individually for them, but if you think you don't want to, but I just wanted to just show you, okay, so that we see that everything is being done already. Or you can also use the AI to write, right? Or you can even pick it from the template, and then you just put it there. If you think you don't like what has been given, so that is that. So I close this and I end the video. Until we meet again in the next video. The name is Kwame A+, and I'm out. Watch out. Peace. Shalom. Bye bye.